Welcome to the Soul Growth Build in Public podcast. There's something about this word suddenly that is really coming up for me today. And so for my Build in Public update around the Soul Growth company that we are building, I think this word suddenly is the word I want to emphasize today. And what has occurred to me, as I am a Chicago native, I live in the Chicagoland area where the winters are really, really dark and really, really cold, where you aren't even sure that nature exists outside because things are frozen over. And right now it's April. And this week, things suddenly changed. The weather turned, and we've had an entire week in the 80s. And what's been so interesting is the energy and the aliveness that has come with this sudden change in temperature. There are people out in my neighborhood walking. There are dogs being excited on walks, and people waving, and the kindness that strangers are exhibiting is quite remarkable, and a reminder that after long, cold, dark winters, that spring and summer will emerge. And that's what my soul growth personal journey has been like. One of the books that I really appreciate and have enjoyed is Thomas More's Dark Nights of the Soul. And in that book, he really describes this journey where when we are in the dark, deep, dark, cold places of our soul, we're really the only ones that know what we're going through and know what that experience is like when we cannot feel, sense, see, hear, or understand that there's anything for us on the other side of this darkness. And suddenly, things start to appear. Life emerges. Energy begins to move in significant and meaningful ways. And that is what has happened not only in the Chicagoland area where I live, but also for me in this soul growth business journey. This week, I was really struggling with some of the digital aspects around the build out of our soul growth community and mastermind groups, and was struggling with some of the details and the copy and the digital assets that needed to be built out, and really was in this kind of this dark place around marketing. And, people have asked me, if you had somebody gave you $1 million or $100,000 right now to do something with for the company, what would you do? And I've said, hire a marketing strategy team, a go-to-market strategy around these digital assets. Because if you're building a digital company, having digital assets that are aligned, that represent who you are and what you do, I think is probably one of the, if not the most important aspects of a digital presence online. That the things that you create and put into the world are representative of the vision, the mission, the values, the identity of the company. And that is hard. That's hard work. That's deep work. That's challenging work. And so as Renee and I have been muddling through that work, we've been doing the best that we can with the skills that we have, right? Our skills are in teaching. Our skills are in leading. Skills are in trusting and building, not necessarily designing digital artifacts to build digital systems. And this week I had a really powerful conversation with someone who I believe is not ready to talk exactly about what suddenly occurred because I want to give it some time and space and opportunity to grow and bloom. But I just want to take this podcast, this moment, to acknowledge this inflection point this suddenly that we are experiencing in soul growth. It's one thing to build a company based on a product. So another thing entirely to build a company based on a sheer belief in the goodness of humans and the desire of human beings to want to operate from a deeper place, a more fulfilling place, a space and a place where it is really grounded and rooted in their identity. And so that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're going for, is we are building soul growth. And I think this week has challenged me in some ways, to just sit down and start building out a Luma page and building out a Zoom, live event, and just putting it out there and having it be paid and expecting people to see the value, understand the value, and want to participate. And so a little nervous, a little excited on both ends, but still consistently continuing to show up. And I think that is the ultimate purpose of being on a soul growth journey is that no matter what is happening, no matter what we're feeling, no matter what is coming our way, we continue to show up on this soul growth path. So I am Stacey Gonzalez. And if you are new to this podcast, I appreciate you listening. Thank you for taking the time to think deeply about what you want for your soul, for your journey. What does your soul growth look like? What does it mean for you? I invite you to share that with us and join your journey with ours. Thank you.